The guitar is a fantastic instrument because, as I've said to you in previous lessons, you can begin to play it with very little information. But the other amazing thing about it is that the complexity continues to grow. The more you learn, the more there is to learn. And what I want to do is to take that basic open string fifths idea and show you how to make movable chords out of that, and also how to play in different keys. To recap, I showed you how the open A and the E produced a power chord, or an open chord as it's sometimes called. Now I'd like to show you how to move that into different keys. Obviously the fingering gets a little bit more difficult, but this is what we have to do. So we've moved on from using one finger, either the first finger in the case of the chords, or the third finger or second finger in the case of the single note lines. So if we take this open E, sixth, and B string, A string, but the B note, we can find this in another location on the guitar simply by doing this. Now the octave is different. So I'm placing my first finger on the E string and the third finger on the B. So this gives me exactly the same sound, simply in a different octave. Now the great thing about this fingering is that we can then move that. For example, here, I go up to the open A and the E string. I can do the same thing here by moving the same fingering, 1 and 3, onto the 6th and 5th string. I'll do that again for you. E and B, A and E. And this can move. So I'll give you a little bit of rhythm with that to get the idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what's interesting about this is we can actually use this in different keys. If I were to slide this down 3 frets, this actually gives me the same as my open chord here, which is a D chord. But if I then were to move, following on from the original idea of 3 frets down, for the second chord, I get a new chord, which is G. So suddenly I can play here, or in a new key, D, and this opens up the neck considerably. So just by moving around, we can discover new chords. E, A, D, G. If I were to carry that on down, following the 3 fret principle, C, F. Suddenly I have all these other keys, still using one fingering. Now some of the lower ones may be a little harder to play, so it might be advantageous for you to start by playing in these higher positions. Get used to the E and the A and the D shape. Then you can work around using the single line stuff we looked at before in conjunction with those rhythms. I'll play a little bit for you just to show you how that works with the drum rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now if I were to use this in the 12-bar sequence, which I showed you earlier, we could start with the A, go to the D, and then the E. I'll demonstrate that for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, A, up to the D. A, D, A. And I slip back to the open E there instead of using the high E. So this is how you can change these chords around and begin to create your own ideas. I'll see you next time